Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me okay? I don't know why I'm asking. I cannot see your comments. Can I see your comments? Oh, yeah, comments will appear here. Awesome. Welcome to the I Choose ritual. This is a an extension of the I Choose ceremony that we did last month, which was called Spellcrafter, a 3-day ceremony where you went through the process of reclaiming your creative sovereignty. And that was a 3-step process. Many, many wins have come out of that. That was an awesome ceremony. And if you were not part of that, you can grab access to that. I'll post the link below so you can access the replays. Definitely worthwhile. And so in Spellcrafter, what we talked about was this idea, this radical idea that you get to choose. What? You get to choose your identity. You get to choose your story. You get to choose the experience that you're having in this reality. What? Cat? That can't be. So radical and so empowering, right? Can you feel the power behind this idea? I choose. They say that an old dog cannot change tricks. Is that the saying? Is that how it goes? Something like that. An old dog cannot change or learn new tricks. An old dog cannot learn new tricks. It's true. The older you get, the harder it is to learn new things, to change your belief system, to choose new stories. Why? Because to create a new belief system, to change perspectives, requires the rewiring of synaptic connections in the brain, and that is a very energetic, intensive exercise. It takes a lot of energy to learn something new. It takes a lot of energy to put yourself in the unknown. It takes a lot of energy to change your perspective. And so the older we get, the more the brain preserves itself energetically, and the more stubborn we can become in our perspectives and our beliefs, simply because the body is trying to preserve energy. However, that does not change the fact, no matter how old you are, that you always retain the capacity and the available energy. You always have access to the energy in order to create the shifts and changes that you desire for yourself. Anytime something is energy intensive, like changing a belief, changing a story, changing a narrative, it requires intention. You have to channel that energy. You have to be the one that goes with your focus point. This is going over here. This is flowing over here. Because as I mentioned before, the body will actually naturally self-preserve energy. It will naturally shut off new synaptic connections from happening because it just takes too much energy. And so unless you're intentional about this stuff, yeah, you may be finding yourself in a position where you're believing or telling yourself, I can never change this belief. I can never change my circumstances. I can never change my reality. I just am the way that I am. Listen to me very closely. If there's nothing else you take from today, it is this. You are a human being in possession of an imagination. This means there are no boxes that exist around you. There's none. Human design, astrology, your zodiac, your spectrum scale or whatever, your medical diagnosis, sure, these are all interesting parts of ourselves. They can be very empowering and very fun, but you're a human. That means there's no boxes. That means you, because you have an imagination, at any moment in time, you can step, you can draw outside of the line. That is literally the superpower of the human, is that Biologically, we don't make fucking sense. There's no boxes around us. We want to be cats, we're cats. We want to be it or them, we're it and them. We want to be a lion, we're a lion. Like, you get to create whatever you want. And so even if you have had an experience where maybe financially or relationally or something in your life you've been persistently experiencing and persistently stuck with, and now you are in a state of belief that that is just the way you are. I am just an introvert. I am just shy. You're making blanket statements about life and about reality and what is possible for you. If nothing else, today, give yourself permission to just wedge that door a little bit open. Just put a toe in. Just stick your toe in and let's just leave this open a little bit. This idea that I actually can choose. This idea that at any moment in time, no matter how old I am, it's much easier to do the younger we are, for sure, but no matter how old we are, we always retain this sovereignty. Never give that power away. And so today, we're going to do a follow-up on the Spellcrafter ceremony, and it is such a pleasure to have you here. I'm in my, as you can see, my very witchy gear. Let me introduce you to the items that you're going to need for today's ritual. We're actually going to do a ritual, and I have not really planned this. I tend to do rituals through a state of flow. I just channel what comes to me. But I did give you guys some instructions of items to ideally have ready for this call. If you don't have this ready, feel free to listen, because I'm going to be riffing on about some stuff, and I don't know what I'm going to be riffing on. I haven't planned this, so we'll see what comes through. Usually I feed off of whoever's attending live, so I can see, Loredana, Aisa, Susie, welcome, hello. So I'll be playing off your energy, picking up some themes around that, and sharing stories and experiences that relate specifically around that. So we'll see what comes through. But the name of the game is for us to, in step 1 of Spellcrafter, we talked about acknowledging the reds, gaining presence with them. The more awareness we have around the emotion and the communication, the trigger, the story that it is saying, the more competence we have in being able to direct it, change the story, choose a new one, right? Awareness is the #1 tool in warfare. It's the #1 tool in strategic athletics and any competitive type of thing where you're trying to win or conquer something. You got to know what you're working with first. You got to know your opponent. It's not an opponent. I'm going to put that in parentheses, because the reds are not your enemy. They're not your opponent. War is kind of a weird analogy for that reason, but it is always good to know the player, who you're playing against. The more you know of the player, their strengths, their weaknesses, what they're trying to say to you, the way they move, the way they play, the better you're going to come on top, the better you will be. So this is basically, this ritual looks at kind of that step 1 of Spellcrafter, and we're going to go a little bit into the step 2, which was to enter a co-creative state, a creative structure where we are envisioning and creating, crafting the version of reality that we desire, not from a, I need to fix this part of myself. I hate this about me. I need to get rid of this. I need to solve this. I need to solve my money problems. I need to solve my love life. It sucks. But rather from, right, because that energy of fixing, if you're coming from an emotional red, if you're trying to create an emotional green from an emotional red, the math ain't gonna math. Reds do not equal greens. So you're gonna get more red. You're going to get more issues with your finances, more issues with your love life, more issues with your body, etc., etc. So day 2 of Spellcrafter was really about how do we shift to that creative state where it's not, this is gross, I need to fix this, or I have to do this, I should be doing this. Pressure, frustration, fixing, something is wrong, to, ooh, delicious, this feels good, this feels exciting, Let's explore this. I want to daydream here. I want to spend time here. This feels so good. It's such a subtle little shift, but it will make the world of difference. Ooh, something just came to me that I want to share with you guys today. Okay. Tabling this. Let me go through the items first, and then we'll go into the ritual, yeah? So ideally, this is what you will have with you today. Pen and paper, easy. Pen and paper, a lighter. Yeah, we're gonna burn shit. Where's my fire babies at? My fire elements. I'm a water element according to my zodiac, but I really like fire in rituals. And then you're gonna need a candle. These I made myself, so this is my little moment of show and tell. I built a business and an audience just so I could have this moment right here, right now. These are my candles. I made them myself. I'm hiding the bottom bits because they kind of look interesting, but I love it. So this was my first attempt at making my own candles. You're only gonna need one. And ideally a smaller candle, because I like to burn my candles through. Instead of blowing them out, I like to let my candles burn through. I have an altar here, so this is actually a pizza, what do you call it, like, you know, for pizza ovens. So it works really well as an altar, and that's what I will be burning my candle on. Let me see if I can adjust this. There we go. Okay, now you can see, got my big crystal here. And then you're going to want either a bowl of water or a mirror. This is a scrying mirror. It's a little bit dirty. It's a little bit dusty. So let me tidy this up. But this is called a scrying mirror. It's just a black surface. A normal mirror would work. So if you even if you just have like a little makeup mirror, and if you don't have a mirror, get a bowl of water. That's actually probably working with water is very magical in itself. So actually, you know, I would do the bowl of water over the mirror. This is just what I put out today. So this is for me. I'm using this. I get a little bowl of water. When we work with water, water has intelligence. Water is the source of life. So it's a great element to bring into the ritual, especially because it's going to balance out the fire. So we're bringing in fire. And that's it. So I've got a little bowl, got my little dragon egg. You don't need a dragon egg. But I got a little bowl here just to burn things in. So maybe if you don't, you know, I could also burn it on my altar, but just have some place safe to burn so you're not burning down your house. All right. So those are the items that we're going to be using. Let me clear this space very quickly. Homemade sage. Grew this sage myself in my garden. The more handmade your ritual items are, or this is what I find personally, when I hand make my ritual items, I feel like it deepens the enchantment. It's just a lot more meaningful, and it deepens the belief. Yeah, it deepens the enchantment, right? Because there's meaning. There's meaning. It's kind of like when people take mushrooms or psychedelics, they'll often say, if you've grown your mushrooms yourself, there's just a very different experience on the back of that because it was cultivated by you. It has your energy. So yeah, I grew my own sage. I made my own candles. Next step would be really cool to figure out how to make my own pencil or pen. Don't know how to do that yet, but I'm sure YouTube has lots of videos. And then, you know, spelling called spelling because words are spells. So imagine making your own pen or your own pencil, or even using like a beautiful pen, like a pen that has meaning, like calligraphy. So when you are writing these intentions, when you're journaling, when you're writing words, when you're spelling, you're literally crafting potent spells. So that is the next thing. I tried to make paper, like papyrus, like the ancient Egyptians did one time. That was a major fail. I really suck at that. That's really hard. I have a lot of respect for paper makers and candles. You know, you have to dip this like 50 times. You have to let it dry like an hour each time. It's wild how they did candles in the olden days. Anyways, let's kick it off. So we're creating this safe, sacred space today, not to fix, not to force, but to bear witness and awareness around the stories, beliefs, or perspectives that may no longer serve us. This is the intention of today's ritual, so that we can release them, so that we can choose new ones with ease, without resistance, without coercion, without forcing, without trying to fix anything. This is the I choose ceremony, the I choose ritual. And with that, we're going to mark the beginning of our ritual by lighting the candle. And we're just going to place the candle on our altar. And as you light the candle, just imagine a golden space coming across the room, washing away any residual energies that might be in the room wherever you are. Imagine your aura taking up space in the room, taking up space beyond the room you're in, expanding. Beyond the street, beyond the neighborhood, beyond the town, expanding, and a golden light filling the space that you're in, clearing and cleansing. And it's not going to stick, so I need to do this a bit more. And just really finding a moment of presence in your body. If you're feeling really red right now, emotionally red, if you're feeling heartbroken or depressed or in grief or just really frustrated, this may not be the best time to do the ritual for you right now. If you're feeling exhausted, go have some sleep. And then come back to this when you're feeling a little bit better, a little bit more neutral. That's what we want. You don't need to be in joy or glee to do rituals, like, because actually rituals can help us to hit those states low, right? But it's a very precarious looking candle. I don't know if you can see that. I'm scared to move it. I feel like I just did a work of art. Look at how it's balancing. There you go. So you don't need to be in like, oh, I love life, I'm super abundant right now, super high greens, in order to do rituals, because actually rituals will help you to hit those states. But if you're in a really bad headspace, my advice, it's not the best timing. Go have a nap, go touch some grass, go give someone a hug, go pet a dog. It's a really effective way to change energy. Go pet a dog and come back to it when there's a little bit more neutrality. Frustration is not a really deep red. So if you're a little bit frustrated, rituals can actually help you. But if you're in like deep depression or in a really bad space, intention setting rituals like this can sometimes bring us into more frustration. So what I would recommend is just observe the state that you're in right now. Observe the polar opposite, the green of that state, and then see if you can find a focus point of those things that put you in green, or that conjure those green states up. And then that will create more of a neutrality in your emotional state, that will bring you up the emotional scale, and then you can do this ritual. Okay. So now we're going to pick up our bowl of water or our mirror, And you're going to look into the surface, the reflection. So normally scrying, this, which is this black surface mirror, I made this one myself too. I just spray painted the back of the glass of a mirror or a frame. But scrying is usually done for, 20, 40 minutes. You look into the surface. It is a form of clairsentience where people will not necessarily like seeing the future, but receiving information, seeing information. It's a way to connect to your intuition and see things. We're not going to sit here for 20, 40 minutes. We're just going to do this for a couple minutes. And what I want you to do is, as you stare into this surface, I'm going to shut up for a minute. As you stare into the surface, I want you to notice and perceive stories that you are holding on to, fears that you are scared to face, identities or labels that you have placed on yourself that have maybe kept you small or are no longer serving you. You don't have to share this publicly with anyone, although if anything comes up and you have courage and you want to share in the chat, I welcome that thoroughly. But the key is like, just be really honest with yourself. This is not a presentation. You're not on show. I'm on show. I'm on show right now. You're not on show. You are safe behind your camera screen. No one's gonna know these identities, these stories. This is not a performance. This is a moment of honesty and reflection within yourself. Okay, let's see what comes up. I'm just gonna get comfortable. I feel like an old woman. Oh, my legs. It feels compelling to put my dragon egg here. Just notice. We're inviting perception and awareness of stories, perspectives, beliefs, and identities that are a duplicity to the ones we consciously wish to move towards, the version of ourselves that we wish to create for ourselves, that contradict that which we desire. I'm having one come up. I will just share with you just to show you kind of the process that I go through. How do I phrase this? The last 2 years of my life, I have had some crazy experiences with money. And it's not been it's been like big surges of money and then, kind of coasting off that. And I am observing that I do have shame around that. And I think that that shame is holding me back, just like shame always does. Just like any reds do. um, yeah, and I think that there's a part of me that is saying success financially means that you have, $1 million in savings in your bank account and super consistent revenues every single month. And therefore, I am not financially successful. And therefore, who the fuck am I to talk about money to people? And therefore, I should just shut everything down. And therefore, I'm not deserving of the visibility. And therefore, um, it's not safe for me to have that visibility. So just observe, observe the thoughts, the perspectives, the stories that come up. You don't need to change them right now. Oh, look at the way I'm sitting. My goodness. Sorry, guys. You were expecting like a. You don't need to change that. But, even as I noticed that thought right away, it's entered my conscious space of awareness, and I'm already thinking to myself, well, no, that that doesn't make sense, because I was consistently making $500,000 months, consistently paying myself a lot of money every month, and I still had no money at the end of the month a lot of the times. So consistency is not financial success necessarily. You just raise your expenses. You can raise your expenses, right? Financial success is having peace to me, and ease, and a soft relationship with money that doesn't have shame, where I know I command it, where I know the human brain invented money, where I know I can call it to myself at any time, and it can look consistent if that's what I desire, or it can be big surges and then relaxing into them if that's what I desire. I've shown to myself I can do both. I just went through the step 2 of Spellcrafter there, as you could tell. But you don't need to shift that just yet. You just need to be aware, like what are the stories? What else? What else? Let me look. Hmm. Yeah, there's something coming up with my partner, and how I'm I'm um I'm not asking. I'm not asking for the pleasure that I desire in our relationship, sexual pleasure. And I think I'm scared of rejection. I'm scared of rejection because that would validate an existing identity I had of myself, that I am not attractive, I'm not good enough, no one will ever love me. And it scares the shit out of me to face those thoughts, those ideas, those perspectives again. Hmm. So, as you bring up the story, the identity, did you see how I just, like a detective, like, but why are you scared? what would happen? You go into it because that's the communication. That's what it's trying to tell you. I bring it up to conscious awareness like this, and I realize almost immediately, well, that makes so much sense that I've attracted a man in my life who is not a horn bag, which has been my experience with men in the past, because he's here to challenge that, to teach me this skill of self-confidence, which was previously very much reliant on a man being turned on by me. And I guess I'm in a level of my life, a stage in my life where I'm learning how to self-source confidence beyond the male gaze, beyond someone else's validation, which feels deeply honoring, and it makes so much sense, right? I'd rather have confidence that is self-sourced, not contingent on my sexual appearance or who's turned on by me. That might have worked when I was in my 20s, but I'm in a different place now. And so going down that route, like, but why does it scare me? Why? And you start to bring it up, and then almost like it might not happen like that for you, by the way, instantly. That's okay. Like, don't. I just went through the 2 steps just looking at the reflection, but really what we're just wanting to do here is look at the reflection. What are you holding on to? What fears are you hiding behind? What identities have you like plastered over yourself that you're just kind of like, I'm done with this. It doesn't serve me anymore. And give them presence. Why is it there? What is it telling you? Why is it telling you that? Why are you afraid of that? Why are you holding on to that? What would it mean if you let go of that? And the more you explore it this way, the more you dig into it, the more you bring it into your conscious awareness, and the more it hits the conscious awareness, the more it's like, oh, it loses its power. Almost immediately, I feel a shift in the relationship with my partner where I'm like, I went from almost frustrated to a state of gratitude, like, ah, he's teaching me something, you know? So once you've identified that, and you may want to spend a lot more time with this, um, like I would recommend at least 20 minutes. You just stare into the surface. And then anything that comes up, we write it down. So we write it down. You write the identity, or you write the story, or you write the perspective down. What else? Ooh, I think there's been some projection or story or belief that I've adopted where hmm, like there's a part of me that knows in my heart of hearts that I'm going to have a really big impact on this world, not just with my family and the friends. Like that is obviously a really big impact. Emotional, when we emotionally regulate ourselves, we have a huge impact on this world. But I mean, in terms of visibility, I've always known that there was going to be a moment of really big visibility in my career. That hasn't happened yet. Um, and I think part of me is almost like feeling, how do I explain it? It's almost like I have to do more things to make that happen. I have to post more, or I have to do more things, do more, do more, do more, do more. That's what's coming up. Do more. I like being in flow. I like working when I'm in flow. I like working hard when I'm in flow, when that hits me. I like that. I'm game for that any moment. But I don't like this idea of, because when I say do more, I can feel like there's a red behind that. It's almost like I'm tired. Just saying it makes me tired. Do more, do more. Like, when does it end? Is there, just do more, do more, do more. But wait, what? No, that feels red. Why do I need to do more if it's already happening? If it's already there, if it's already in my cards, I get to just be. And the synchronicity will happen. I'm open to magic. I'm open to it happening in a magical way, not through force or coercion. All I need to do is just hold the vision and the trust. It's not about pushing or forcing more. So I write that down. I go, I have to do more. So you notice, like, when you say the statement, the identity, the perspective, do you feel red or do you feel green? You know, does it feel red to or green to tell yourself my partner is not attracted to me? That's not a green. Unless you're really over sex and you're just not. I was there in my last marriage, by the way. I would have died for my partner not to be. Isn't that life funny? Let me tell you a short segue here. My ex-husband, too much info here, but I love you guys. We're a family. My ex-husband was a little bit of an nymphomaniac. And after 12 years of being together, he still wanted to have sex multiple times a day. And he would almost get in a bad mood if he didn't get it. So it was kind of like, it ruined sex for me because it became like I had to empty the dishwasher. Like, it became a chore. And then I would have a moody toddler if I didn't do it, you know? So it was like, which one's the lesser evil, basically? And yeah, when I left that relationship, I was like, I will never date a man like that again. That was too much, too much. And I almost went like polar opposite. My current partner is not like that at all. He like needs emotional stimulation. It's like the complete opposite. So life is funny like that. Sometimes we go through those poles, right, to find, well, to find the middle ground, the balance point, and then to also find the skills to have to work within those confines. I look back on my relationship with my husband. I'm grateful we separated. I'm grateful for my partner now. I'm grateful for the life I have. But I also do think that had I had the emotional skills that I have nowadays in my last relationship, we could have made that marriage work. Because I think he was very open. He's a great man, my ex-husband. He's a bit conservative, so change is a little bit hard for him. But I think with the right me leading the way emotionally and setting the boundaries and regulating myself, and then also not getting sucked into his toddler frame, we could have made that marriage work. There were other things as well. It wasn't just sex though. Um, and so, yeah, it's like this in this relationship that I'm in now, I could technically do what I did with my ex, just leave, be like, this is not exactly what I'm looking for. Or I can go, oh shit, this is bringing up a lot of emotional reds, this dynamic right now. What am I telling myself about this? This is an opportunity to grow into this. And I still get to create what I want, which is what we tend to not do when we're finding ourselves in friction points, right? We tend to go, oh, it's his fault. It's their fault. It's the economy's fault. It's the politicians' fault. I'm in a situation that doesn't work. This feels shit. Let me just exit. Yay me, finding my power. Go girl, in your power. And then what happens? A year later, you find yourself in the same fucking dynamic. You know, that's what I thought would happen. Like escapism, right? Like you can escape those reds. You can't. You can't. Life will serve up that lesson no matter where you run to in the world, no matter who you start to date. When I was in my business and I was unfulfilled and feeling stuck and losing my confidence and feeling betrayed, I thought, I'll exit this business, wipe the slate clean. Hallelujah. And I was shocked and very much dismayed when I came to realize, oh fuck, you cannot run away from emotional reds until you learn to regulate and channel that energy, receive the message, change and choose the perspectives, and then reclaim creative sovereignty to create what you actually desire, to step into the leading role of your life. Those reds are not going to go away. And then that's what I came to experience on the back, was that I launched the Flow protocols, and guess what? It did really well, that business, when I first launched it. And then a year into it, lo and behold, I'm feeling stuck and trapped. Oh my God. And then it happened again in the Coven. I launched the Coven, the magic, and then stuck in it. So it was like, and then by then I started to realize, oh, I'm teaching myself. Like I'm going through it again to optimize, right? I'm optimizing the transmutation. I'm optimizing my trust. I'm optimizing the level of courage to go, oh, yeah, the energy's not here anymore. Let's make a pivot, or let's change, or let's, you know. Very rarely is the solution to blow shit up. Unless that blowing shit up is a deep green, like, oh, this is going to feel so exciting to walk away from this and to blow this up and to quit my job. If it's a deep green, go for it. But usually when we're walking away, when we're blowing shit up, when we're quitting things, it's a deep red. And in my experience, I found you don't run away from those. Even if you walked away from it, it just shows up somewhere else. There's a lesson in that red of, you know, when we're finding ourselves in those situations where we're feeling stuck and trapped, our focus point is naturally going to go to that. I'm stuck, I'm trapped, I'm a victim, this person or this circumstance sucks, and I will be so much happier if this doesn't exist. But, you know, at the beginning of this ritual, we were talking about how when we're creating from a problem structure, trying to fix something, we actually just perpetuate that red. So in those moments where we feel stuck and we feel trapped, that's the moment. That's the moment where we go, but what would it look like if I felt so fucking good right now, and if I felt peace of mind, and if I was happy and in gratitude and in joy? What are the focus points I can hold that support those states? How can I notice? How can I tap into? How can I teach myself those greens that I am telling myself right now I have conditions over, that I am detached from in this moment? And then as you make that shift, as you go into that creative structure, as you connect to those emotional greens, you'll often find that the initial triggering situation resolves itself. It doesn't even trigger you anymore. And or the person's behaviors have changed. And or it resolves itself, like the shitty client that you're dealing with, or the, you know, the annoying parent, just they either go on holiday or they quit or something. It solves itself. There's no forcing, there's no coercing, there's no so noticing that, like if we're making big decisions and it feels really red to make those decisions, that's a stop. You can make the decision in that red, but what you'll likely find is that red is going to show up again. And you'll be faced with a very similar decision. Has anyone noticed this phenomenon? Okay, let's move on because my candle is almost out and we want to make sure we wrap up the ritual before the candle goes. By the way, this is my money map and we got money magic coming up. I've been working on a very potent ritual where I get paid to be happy. And it's awesome, the ritual. I love it. And so Money Magic, that's going to be where I share it. That's coming up 18th of August. Money Magic 2025. Can you believe it? It's been 4 years of Money Magic. If you have attended a previous Money Magic workshop or you're in Protocol 8, you get this for free. And there was an email sent to you, so just look out for that. If you purchase a Money Magic pass for the 2025 workshop, you get free access into all future workshops. And not only that, you get instant access to the full Money Magic library, which is all the replays from 2022. Really powerful workshop. Huge changes and shifts. There is a VIP option to this workshop as well, which is a 30-day audio track, drip daily, so around money. So every day to stay in the energy, you can tap into 30 days. They're 4 minutes to 30 minutes around money. Just to stay in your greens, to stay in the abundance, to stay in the vibe that you're going to feel when you attend Money Magic. If you're in Protocol 8, obviously, you already have that. So I'm sending you guys a special little ritual box. So that's coming your way soon. Okay, so basically I just tore my pieces of paper. If you do this ritual at home and maybe you have way more things you've written down, that's fine, right? It's not a performance here, as I will keep saying. And we're going to burn this. And as you burn this, go into the creative structure. What would it look like for you to have so much joy and happiness and fulfillment and contentment and peace of mind around this aspect of your life? Maybe it's if you're burning an old identity, what is the new identity? If you're burning an old belief, what is the new belief? If you're burning an old perspective, what is the new perspective? Go into that as you burn these pieces of paper. So, and actually I'm going to use my candle to burn them because it feels way more meaningful. Doing rituals is not like, this is why I always struggled to buy. Clearly I'm not focusing right now, but I always struggled to buy or read magic, like ritual books, because I found they were so like, you have to do this and get this herb and this crystal and do it at this time of the year when the moon is in this. And I'm like, no, like for me personally, rituals is just a way to enter states of flow. They've scientifically shown that rituals help the brain enter states of flow. Flow is a high alchemy state. Flow, anytime we're setting intentions or daydreaming or thinking about a version of reality from emotional greens, it's super potent. Like that's how we create everything in our lives, And so I don't have rules or rhymes. Like I'm not like, oh, you have to do it. If I feel like, oh, actually I just want to burn it with my candle, that feels compelling to me, then that's what I do. Whatever helps me get into flow, whatever makes it a fun, tactile, joyful experience for me that achieves the purpose. That's the purpose. Not like if you're going to get stressed out about rules, like sometimes those rules are helpful because they can deepen enchantment, right? If you're like, well, somebody said do it this way, and if I do it exactly like this, that means I've done it right, and therefore I believe it's going to work. But if they're stressing you out, like they did for me, then just don't. And we just burn them. We let them go. Like, can it be that simple? It can. And we can have a moment of gratitude too. What a pattern interrupt to give gratitude to these paradigms, these beliefs, these stories that no longer serve us. right? That is if you have a triggering person in your life, whew, the ultimate alchemist move is to pattern interrupt by, instead of sending them hate and vengeance, send them love. Imagine them feeling well. Watch what happens. And so we get to share a moment of gratitude and love and understanding and empathy. Like, I get why I had this belief. I get why I was trying to protect myself. I get that. And thank you. Thank you so much, beautiful little brain, for trying to protect me. Aren't you just a glorious little thing? But you know what? Here's what I'm picturing for myself. Such radical self-acceptance. Like, I know my worth as a mentor, especially around the financial conversations, because I just know the relationship I have with money. And it has nothing to do with whether I have $1 million in savings right now. I'm extremely competent at money, and I'm really good at helping people make money. And I get to totally accept all the situations that are happening to me. And I get to feel really good and sexy and empowered, and also self-accepting myself in my relationship. And imagine what it would feel like to have my partner make more moves and be more attracted to me, and daydream about that. Like, that feels good. What was my last point? It's gone. I burned it, and there you go. I totally evaporated. The ritual succeeded. Yeah, brain fart. I don't know. I don't know. So there you go. That was a super success. That last one just completely exited my sphere of awareness. It burns so completely. And if you want to add the element of wind or water, what feels compelling to me now is I have this little bowl of ashes. I have a little stream down at the end of my property, so I'm probably going to take this down to the stream of water, just tell it the ritual that I just did, just talk to it for a minute, and then put these in the stream, let the water wash it away, let nature transmute the energy behind this. And this was our I Choose ritual, guys. So I would love to hear from you, if you're game, if you have the courage, maybe to share some of the things that came up, or how did you find this ritual? How are you feeling now? Did you make any iterations to it? If so, please share. Please share. Please share. Super open. So many magical beings in this group, and some of the ideas you guys have around different ritual practices is like, yes, please. I'm always open to that. And the most important message from today is just calibrating back to this idea that, yeah, you get to choose, guys. You get to fucking choose. I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes. I know sometimes the internet will have you believe that your hormones are the ones choosing, or other people are choosing for you, and that you're trapped and that you're stuck. I get it. I get it. And maybe to your soul, it's fun to forget yourself like that, because to your soul, to an undivided, an energy that can never be diminished or extinguished or divided, to forget yourself, to the soul that is a singularity, that is all things at once, anywhere, any place, forgetting yourself is probably play. It's probably really fun to your soul to believe that you don't have power, to believe that you cannot choose, to believe that you suck, to believe that you're a failure. But the most fun part of the game of peekaboo, hiding is fun. Hiding is fun. Sometimes you're hiding and you want to pee because you're like anxious because you're like, fuck. Can be very stressful too. The most fun of a game of peekaboo is I found you. I found you. Ha ha ha. There you are. Why would it be any different to the soul? It might be fun to play peekaboo, to forget ourselves, to hide, but the most fun part to your soul is when you go, I found you. Aha! There you are. There you are. And so there you are, my friend. There you are. In a moment in time, hopefully, connecting to a little bit of that feeling of like, yeah, there I am. I get to choose. I get to choose. And if so, mission accomplished. And so I'm going to let this candle burn out. It's probably going to keep going for another 10 or 20 minutes here. I'm going to leave everything undisturbed. And then when it goes out, I will take my thing, or I might actually take my thing down to the stream right now while it's still going. And for those of you guys that enjoyed today's ritual, we're going to be going through a really potent one for Money Magic, the 2025 workshop, a ritual where you get paid to be happy, to be in the greens. How does that sound? Would you like that? I've been playing around with it. My money, it's working really well, guys. So that's August 18th. You have free access if you're a previous participant of Money Magic. If you have not participated before, your entry ticket into this workshop gives you free access into all future workshops, as well as instant access to all the previous replays. A lot of juicy modules in there. I think off the top of my head, there must be at least 10 modules or something. And then there's a VIP upgrade version where you can opt in to receive 30 days of daily audio drops, money mentorship. They're 4 to 20 minutes, just me talking about different money aspects, perspectives that are really going to help you to claim your financial sovereignty. So if you're in the emotional reds with money right now, maybe frustrated, maybe feeling a bit stuck, maybe just a little bit, not inspired, then this will be really awesome for you to stay in those greens, stay in that potency. The ritual went out. Love it. Love it. Because I was actually thinking, I was like, you know what? I should actually stay on this call till this candle. But my legs are hurting. And the universe was like, Kat, here you go. Thank you. I receive it. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope you have experienced a little bit of softness, a little bit of gentleness in yourself, a little bit of peace of mind, a little bit of hope, putting all those things in the cauldron. Again, have fun with the ritual. Do it how you see fit, what activates you. There's no rules. I'm not saying this has to be the way. Just have fun and then update me. Share me how did it go? How did it go? What did you do? How did it go? How do you feel? And also, if you want to join me in Money Magic, comment below Money Magic and I will send you the link. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next activation later this month. Love you all so much. Thank you for joining me. Let me see if I can move now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You guys.